Real Estate and Mortgage Show, your go-to spot for everything home buying, selling, and financing on News Talk 580 CFRA.
Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Got the cough in, eh?
We just have to make sure Paul gets his cough out.
Just coughing right before the show.
Well, it's only 80 degrees in the studio right now. Like, it's a sweat box in here right
now. But I don't understand. Like, we're on break for 2 minutes. You don't cough once, and then the minute my finger's hovering over the mic's on button.
I know. I like to get my voice ready to go.
It was 77 when we came in the studio. That's how much hot air is coming out of this studio.
Yeah.
We're up to 80 in 30 minutes.
I'm leaving that alone. I'm just telling you that right now.
And you guys are in t-shirts, and I'm in a blazer. Like.
Yeah, if you want to see what we actually look like, you can head over to YouTube and just search the Real Estate and Mortgage Show. We post all the shows on there, and our new podcast will be posting all the episodes on there as well. So
coming soon.
Yeah, so if you go to YouTube, Real Estate and Mortgage Show, and subscribe. And our podcast we're probably a couple weeks away. The studio's almost ready, and we're ready to rock and roll with the podcast.
Getting all the technical stuff sorted out, and then we're good to go.
That's on you, Greg. The technical stuff's on you. Frank and I, we're just the looks.
Pretty faces.
We're just the looks.
Just the talent, eh?
We're just the talent.
We're faces for radio is who we are.
Yeah, we are. Yeah.
All right, on the phone, we've got Sam from Ottawa who has a question about the housing market. Sam, welcome to the show today.
Hey, how are you guys?
Good, Sam. How are you?
Not bad. Guys, I know you have a foothold on what's going on in the economy, but it's strange you guys haven't mentioned anything about we're in a recession, technical recession. And secondly, I'm just wondering about, like, the vibe on the new housing. Like, I know we kind of always hear about Clement, but it's generally slow right across the board. I'm kind of a frequent caller, but it's really slow in the housing with the big builders. Homes.
Yeah, to be honest with you, Sam, I think what happened is when this was announced that this HST rebate was coming out, I think people really jumped on it, and people were excited, and they thought the new home building industry was going to go insane, and I think the delay has caused a lot of people a lot of uncertainty, and so I think a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines. It's going to explode as soon as it is, as soon as it's finalized. Well, it's not going to explode, but as soon as it's finalized and ironclad, I think we're going to see a lot of new home building going on. I think one of the other problems, too, is the fact that the government, the red tape for builders is insane. Like, it's not easy for builders to get shovels in the ground. So I think we have a bit of a double whammy there.
Again, you're saying about shovels in the ground. They've done that probably for about easily 100 years in Ottawa. I don't think logistically that's going to be a difficult thing.
It has been.
I'm not saying it has been or it hasn't been. I'm just thinking it's not difficult for these guys to actually, they can build within days. Like, they have stockpile of land that I know as developers I'm not a developer personally, but anyways, just a bit off topic. So they say we're in a technical recession. And thirdly, I was just wondering about the actual, the conversation's always talking about COVID. Is that going to end? Like, we're over the 5-year kind of renewal point. Like, is that still a topic, or should we look more to the future? And
I agree, Sam. I think, COVID, the pandemic talk is still ongoing, but only because we're hitting the end of that 5-year. And I think we said the previous segment where, in March is when we hit the peak, is when we started to see, March 22 is when we started to see some of those values start to come down. So we are 9 months away from that. I think once that hits, then we can put this COVID talk to bed. And now we can start focusing. Now, I think over the last 2 years, I think we've seen real estate do what it traditionally does. We've seen real estate go up 2-3% overall.
Back to normal.
We've seen interest rates, unfortunately, the reason that they're considered high, because if this was 2018 and 2017, if you can get a 5-year mortgage at 4%, that was okay. The reason that 4% is high is because, number one, we got spoiled with 1.59 to 2% 5-year fixed mortgages, which we have a lot of Canadians coming off of right now. And number two, we've seen house prices go up so significantly because of the pandemic, as well as the cost of everything else around us go up so much, that's where the concern is for many. Two-income families if you're a two-income family, you should be living comfortably. But when you have good, solid two-income families saying, boy, we got to watch our pennies. Like, we can't go and spend lavishly because we may not have enough money left in the bank account to do some of the necessities that we need to do. That was something that wasn't happening in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
That's the difference today.
And that's that technical recession that we were talking about in the previous segment as well. Where,
but even when Sam was saying how, like, one, we have two problems here. One, like he said, it's easy to get shovels in the ground. That's not true. That's not true.
No,
builders,
but they want to.
They want to. Yeah. Builders want to get shovels in the ground, but it's hard. It's really, really hard. The red tape is unbelievable. Once we get more shovels in the ground, that'll help. But once this HST rebate gets firm, that'll really help, because I think there's more people that are sitting on the sidelines than there are people that are buying right now.
And that's a big question. How many people are actually sitting on the sidelines waiting for this to pass? That's the big question. I mean,
a lion's share.
We think there's a lot.
A lion's share.
We think there's a lot, but that could change quickly because, again, cost of living is high up there. But qualifying for a mortgage on a $700,000 home that once you get that rebate now is down closer to $600,000 is significantly easier as somebody who's buying a home to be able to look at it and say, okay, if I bought for $700,000, my mortgage payment would have been $3,500. But if I'm buying for $600,000, now it's $3,000. That $500 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a game changer for many, many families that are out there.
Agreed.
$6,000 a year, not going out your pocket, right?
Yep,
so,
100%.
I mean, that's fascinating. Sam, thanks a million for the call. Really appreciate it. Well, I know I was reading an article this week that I just wanted to touch on. I remember shovels in the ground. We were just talking about a couple of years ago. I remember we were talking with Charles, and how long did it take to get the street names done before they were allowed to?
Oh God, even that was a pain in the butt.
We couldn't even put them up for sale because it took, what was it, 9
It was like street A, street
months?
B, street C. Yeah, it took forever to get street names. I know they've gone through a battle. I'm not going to say where, but they've gone through a battle with a municipality and a township to get permits to build. It's been a nightmare. And here we are talking about it should be easy to get shovels in the ground. We need more building. And it's been a nightmare for Charles.
It's easy to get the equipment out and do all that kind of stuff, but to get the permission to get the equipment out is what the big holdup is. Is that what it is? It's all the red tape.
100%. The red tape, and a large part of a builder's cost too is a lot of that red tape too. When it comes to permits and plans and all that, the soft cost, all that kind of stuff. That's a huge chunk of a builder's cost, but. When you're ready to rock and roll and you have the machinery and you have the trades and you have everything ready to go and you can't get the permits to go, that's a problem. It's a big problem.
And that's what the holdup is.
That's what the big holdup. Yeah. And it's not, I'm not just talking about Charles. That's every builder right now they say it's easier. It is 100% not easier. I got boots on the ground. I know it's not easier. And until it gets easier, and then you couple that with the HST rebate being so foggy, it's a double whammy, right? And that's what's happening right now with new home builders. And we've gone ever since they've announced that the two governments are going to come together for an HST rebate, but they haven't put anything in concrete form. It's been terrible for new home builders right now.
Well, at this point, we just don't know how it's being administered. That's
the problem.
The process.
Right?
We don't know the process. We know it's happening. We don't know the process.
Right.
It's critical.
Yeah.
That's a critical piece because lawyers are unsure of how to treat them. You've got the provincial government telling the federal government, well, let CRA deal with that. We want our money right away. We don't want you to. That's the kind of stuff that should have been ironed out right at the beginning and not held up the way it is right now. And that's what creates uncertainty. The other problem we still have, which has somehow slipped away from all the news, we still have provincial tariffs, interprovincial tariffs, which
is
are
crazy.
hurting a lot of people right now. So again, it became a big topic around the election time last year, and once the Liberal government has gotten in, and now all of a sudden they've got a majority, all of a sudden the provincial tariff talk has gone away. You hear a lot of talk about Alberta wanting to separate. We're back to where we were before, as opposed to going forward. It feels like we're either stuck in neutral or we're taking 2 steps back, where we absolutely need to now start to move forward. Otherwise, that technical recession might become much bigger than what it is.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, and I was going to say, if I was in the first-time home buyer position looking at a new build right now, that difference between 5% and 13%
is huge.
Is a massive number.
Yes, it is.
It's
a decision maker
on a $600,000-$700,000. So I would sit on the sideline right now.
I think most people are. I mean, we had the CEO of the Ottawa Real Estate Board at your conference on, what was it, Wednesday?
Simba conference, not my conference.
Well, whatever, at the Simba conference, yeah. And, HST was a big topic. It was a huge topic.
Yeah,
and
why wouldn't it be?
She didn't really want to touch on it. Everyone wanted her to touch on it. I had one of my go-to lawyers, David Leith, to my team meeting on Tuesday. HST was the number one topic there, too. And he didn't have answers. Like, no one has answers on this, and it's tough when your CEO doesn't have answers, when lawyers don't have answers, when mortgage brokers don't have answers, when realtors don't have answers, but more importantly, when builders don't have answers. That's a problem. Yeah. That is a big problem.
It's disappointing for sure because we need it. For this economy to start to thrive, we need this to be clarified once and for all. And we only talk about Ontario, but other provinces are experiencing the exact same thing right now. So
I was talking to quite a few mortgage brokers at the Simba conference, and a lot of them were very concerned about the resale market when this does come in. And I was chatting with them a little bit. And I tried to put their mind at ease a little bit, and I said, guys, listen, you only have to go to a new home builder's site to see when their early occupancy is. And that early occupancy is usually early 2027.
It's months away.
It's months and months and months away. Yeah. Some builders are a year away. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of we're a transient city. Like, there's a lot of government. There's a lot of military relocation. There's a lot of people coming in to our city that need to buy ASAP. And they can't buy from a builder whose homes are 6, 8, 10 months away. Yeah. So the resale market's going to be the only thing. So I know when I talk to a lot of them, I'm like, don't panic too much. I know it looks terrible for the resale market, but it's not as bad as you think because people need homes ASAP and new builds are not ready ASAP. Right?
No, yeah, if you can wait for a year,
great,
then fantastic.
But not a lot of people can.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. If you're being transferred here with the RCMP or whatever, you need a house because you have to be at work in a month.
Well, and there's a reason the number of sales in the townhouse market are up year to date because people need homes. People are buying them, right? So I wouldn't panic too much if you're in the resale market. I know I have a lot of friends who are thinking of selling, and they're in the resale market, and they're panicked that it's the new home segment is going to take over the resales. It's not. It's not. There's going to be a segment, but I think the number was. I think it was Glenn talked on the show one time, and he was saying like the number of first-time home buyers who bought new builds last year was something like 7, 8, 9%.
Oh, I thought it was lower than that.
It wasn't drastic, like it wasn't huge numbers. So yes, there's going to be a segment of the market that are going to be buying from a builder new homes, but there's a massive segment that are going to be buying resale homes. Massive segment. So
because of the situation they're in, they have to.
They have to. So if you're in the resale market, do not panic. You're still in a really good position.
I have to say, after doing real estate photography for the last 21 years, I'm so impressed with the designs that the builders are doing on townhouses now. Like they feel as big and spacious as many single family homes do.
Well, some townhomes are bigger than the singles, right? Like, are you better to buy a 1,500 square foot single or a 1,900 square foot townhome, right? Like,
great question.
Some of the designs are really, really good, and they're only getting better, right? They're only getting better.
Oh yeah, no, and the layouts are beautiful, like the finishes are beautiful. Like the builders have really upped their games in the townhouse market, which.
Well, you haven't been in very many though, have you, Greg?
They use every square inch, right? They planned it out properly
to
be able to use every square inch for today's world, not the world of 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Absolutely. Have a question, head over to realestateandmortgageshow.com. You can submit it there or give us a call at 521-TALK, 521-8255. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everybody.
Welcome to the sweat box.
It came down 80 to 79.
Oh, 79 now.
All the way
it
down.
It only took one segment for the temperature to come down.
I can't wait to take my jacket off.
Like I said, go to the YouTube channel and you can see how red Paul's looking right now.
Tan,
with the heat. Yeah,
it's warm. It's warm.
To be fair, you do sit directly under the vent.
So there's sometimes it's freezing cold in here going right down my neck, and there's sometimes it goes right down my neck hot. So whatever, it is what it is.
It's a no-win, I guess.
It's a no-win.
Yeah. So I was reading, I don't want to be a negative Nelly here, but I was reading another article this week that a lot of deals are falling through on the financing clause.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'll let Frank talk about that after, about, from his perspective. But yeah, I feel like, is that a diligence problem? Is that a realtor problem? I mean, are we doing our job and asking if you're pre-approved? Are we getting them pre-approved? one of the things I hate the most is when I get feedback from someone and says, hey, the home showed really, really good. I'm working on financing for my client. I'm like, what?
Why were you showing it?
Why are you showing homes if you haven't even got your client financed? So my thing out there to realtors is please do your due diligence and get them pre-approved. Get them in touch with a mortgage broker. Get them in touch with Frank. Get them in touch with their bank. Like, get the financing approved. One, you're wasting your time. You're wasting the client's time. But more importantly, you're wasting the seller's time. Because if anyone's sold a home, you know you work hard to get this home ready for show. You're cleaning it, you're getting out. It could be at dinner time. It could be on weekends.
Well, and nobody lives like how you have a house set up for sale.
And then to find out that they're not even pre-approved and they're walking through your home and now you're taking your 3 young kids out to McDonald's because you have to get out of the house. Like, there's nothing that makes me more mad than when I read feedback like that. Sometimes I call the agent and I'm like, do yourself like a service here and get
do your clients
get them pre-approved. It's not fair to anyone. So that's one thing. And then Frank, we were talking earlier about this, is like sometimes it's just the people might be pre-approved, but the house isn't pre-approved with them. I don't know what
are the potential reasons that a house may fall through on financing?
Well, again, I mean, if someone's pre-approved, it depends what type of pre-approval they have. There's soft pre-approvals and there's a traditional formal pre-approval where, when I see these,
so that 30-second on the
there's no such thing as a 30-second pre-approval or 60-second pre-approval. That's then just multiply your income by 4. There you go. You're pre-approved. That's how much of a mortgage you can get. So, no, that's not the way it works, because you have to look at your credit score. You have to look at one's job history, and I'll tell you, I mean, there are people that tell us they make one amount and then the paper says a totally different amount, and what they say is, yeah, but that's what I'm going to make this year.
Or debt levels or bonuses or...
Nobody lends on what you're going to make. Lenders and banks lend on what you've made, what you're making, not what you're going to make.
History, not future.
Especially if it's variant. Your income has a variance to it. So... Listen, if you're a straight salary, work for the government.
I can't walk into a bank and say, I want to make what Frank makes? I can't say that.
Well, you're not going to get any mortgages. But anyway. But real estate agents or self-employed people, commission people, they have a little bit of a disadvantage because they make good income, but then they have the ability legally to write their cars off, to write meals off, to write, part of their residence off if they're living in it. But then these lenders will use this net income instead of this gross income, despite the fact that a salaried person doesn't get to do that. So you get to use the gross. So those are circumstances where we've seen that, all of a sudden and we've had clients call us and say, Frank, my bank told us we're pre-approved. We put the offer on the house. All of a sudden we're not approved anymore. So we start digging a little deeper. It's like they should have never pre-approved you to begin with, because if I look at your paperwork, there's not a chance you would have qualified for this much of a mortgage. So, again, I mean, a formal pre-approval is important. When it comes to the property, I'll give you an example this week. A customer called me, wants to buy this house with 5% down, and the realtor, who is either his realtor or the realtor who he went to, which might be the listing realtor, says, yeah, but you can't put a financing clause in it. I said, well, do me a favor, send me a copy of the MLS listing. The first thing it says in big, bold letters, needs TLC. So that's already a red flag. Already a red flag. Yeah. But on top of that, 24 pictures are there, not one of them of the inside of the house.
Another red flag.
Ooh. Another mass. That's not even a red flag. I mean, that's a don't bother with financing. That's what it's. To me, that's the first thing I said, is that this house has got to be in such bad shape that they don't even want to put one picture of the inside. So therefore, why would a lender lend on that? Again, you got to remember that a lender lends two reasons. Number one, the ability for them to be paid back. And number two, should payback not happen, the property is marketable where they can put it on the market and they want to sell it in 15 days. Not 6 months. 15 days is when they want to turn that property around.
They need to cut that deal.
And first of all, the realtor said don't put a finance clause in?
Yeah, that's what's scary. And again, I mean, both our industries, Paul, you and I can both say there's really the majority of realtors, the majority of mortgage brokers, mortgage agents are good people, understand the system. You've got that small handful of them that are just, they're, in other words, what I like to say, they're not building relationship business, they're transactional. All they want is that one transaction, that one commission, that's it. They don't care whether they do wrong to the customer, to the bank, to anybody. They just want to make that money on that.
I will say, Frank, I'm going to give your industry a good little check mark here. I know we're ending here, but I was actually floored at how close your industry is at the conference, at the SIMBA conference. Just to see all the mortgage brokers hugging and high-fiving each other. And, these are people who are working with each other, but they're also competitive people. But I was blown away at how awesome some of those people were. And, I mean, most of them.
Yeah, but even lenders, BDMs, right, business development managers for each,
yeah.
They're all friends. They all high-five each other. Even though they're competitively going against each other, fighting for the same business, they're all on the same page because what we want to do is be better for the industry.
Exactly.
We want to be better for Canadians. This isn't about a transaction. It's
deal.
About a relationship.
But you had all sorts of companies around the outskirts, and every single one of them, they're in competition with each other.
They are.
But every single one of them was like high-fiving each other, and how's your day? And
that's the way it should be.
It was good to see it. Love to see it.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah. All right. Frank, birthdays?
Yeah, just a couple of birthdays again. My mom gets a second one. She got it last week. She gets it again. When you turn 91.
91.
She'll get it next week, too.
Yeah, she might get it next week. But happy birthday to my mom. Ray Calderari, who's now taken over for Sean Reed at AMIC, and I know that he was on stage, I think, doing one of the presentations. So happy birthday to Ray. And then Mikey Murtos, who's with one of the lenders. He was there on Wednesday. He's with Merrick's, and he's married to my wife's cousin. He turned 50, so happy milestone birthday to Mikey.
Ooh, happy birthday. I do have a couple. One of my super agents, James Daly, celebrates 12 years with the company on June 1st. And, of course, one of my other great agents, Paul Deek, has a birthday on the 3rd. So happy birthday, Paul.
Oh, amazing. All amazing. Both amazing guys on the team. For
agreed.
Sure.
Agreed.
All right. Have an amazing week, everybody. We'll talk to you again next week.
Yeah, thanks, and continue to support local business and charities as always.